there are 3 games that happened in week 1 that people need to be very careful with. 3 losses that we should not overreact to. So number 1, and by the way, there may be more losses than these 3 that we shouldn't overreact to. These are the 3 that come to my mind in particular when I look at what happened and I go, take a deep breath. It's okay. Let's relax and see what happens moving forward. So number 1, the Buccaneers lost to the Saints. And my dad and I, my stepmom, they have all this thing where they say it out loud. How does something sound when you say it out loud? Say it out loud with this game on Sunday. Tom Brady's first game with a new team after a crazy weird offseason, no preseason. Tom Brady and a new team with a new offense played the New Orleans Saints. Already a really good team, but also a group of guys that have been together for a long time. Drew Brees, the quarterback, Sean Payton, the head coach, they've been together in New Orleans since 2006. He's been a whole career together. Then you got Mike Thomas, Alvin Kamara, guys that have been there for a long time. They've all played together for a while. And so, of course, New Orleans beat Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. Makes total sense. Tom Brady had 2 interceptions. The Buccaneers had 3 turnovers. The Saints had 0. And they only lost by 11 points. That's actually encouraging to me. You go, well, I think next time they play each other, I'd be surprised if Tom Brady, after having a season to settle in, do you really think he's going to throw 2 interceptions and have a game like that? I don't know that they do. And then, by the way, the Buccaneers head coach, Bruce Arians, has been insistent about, he keeps calling out Tom Brady publicly saying, we can't have interceptions, we can't have this, we can't have that. And the media, this divisive thing where people are like, Bruce Arians should not be criticizing Tom Brady. I've seen a couple headlines, haven't really clicked on them. I just know that there's some pushback. People are like, how can Bruce Arians be criticizing Tom Brady? I love it. I totally love what Bruce Arians is doing. Number 1 is it motivates Tom Brady. Tom Brady sits at home and goes, I'm going to prove. He's not the kind of guy that hates the coach. He goes, he's right. When you say honest things to Tom Brady, he's not the kind of guy that gets angry at you. He goes, you're right, I got to clean it up. He's healthy enough and secure enough in who he is that if you say Tom Brady's got to be better, he'll take that to heart, put his head down, and do the work to get better. He can handle criticism. Number 2, though, when you publicly criticize your superstar Hall of Fame quarterback, it sends a message to the team, hey, nobody gets a pass here. Nobody can get away with nothing other than great effort. We have high expectations in Tampa Bay. We believe we should and can win a lot of games. So when you criticize Tom Brady, it's a really good message to send to the rest of the team. So I love it all. Don't overreact to the loss. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, they're going to be just fine. They lost to a team that's really, really good, who's been together for a really, really long time. I got no concerns about Tom Brady losing week 1 to New Orleans. Now, number 2, do not overreact to the New York Giants losing on Monday Night Football to the Steelers. So number 1, the Steelers lost, or excuse me, the Giants lost to a better team. The Pittsburgh Steelers, first of all, their quarterback, Big Ben, looked outstanding. He was great with pressure in his face. He says his elbow is healthier than ever. I'd believe him. The defense for the Steelers looked really, really good. And I got to say, despite 2 turnovers, we'll talk about those 2 interceptions, I liked how the Giants' young quarterback, Daniel Jones, played on Sunday. I guess it's Monday night. Excuse me. This weekend of week 1. I liked how he played on Monday Night Football. He had 2 interceptions. One of them was just a crazy good play by the defense where, TJ Watt, a pass rusher, instead of rushing the quarterback, he recognized it was quick game. So he's like, hey, Daniel Jones is throwing the ball quickly. Instead of rushing, he did his own thing. He backed off, jumped up, caught an interception. That's just a good football play. There's not really a lot you can do about that. Every once in a while, a player makes a play that's so good, you shrug your shoulders and go, there's nothing you can do there. That's just a really, really good football play. Now, Daniel Jones' second interception was a problem to me. I don't like what happened there. The Giants put together this long 19-play drive, their best drive of the game, like third down conversion after third down conversion after third down conversion. And the Giants had the ball second down on the 4-yard line. Daniel Jones is extending the play, running to the left. He gets hit as he throws. The ball goes up in the air, gets intercepted. And that's a play where Daniel Jones just needs to throw the ball away, throw it into the stands, live to see another down. And it's brutal because if you think about it, when that play happened, the Giants had the ball on the 4-yard line, second down. They were losing by 6 points, 16-10. If the Giants get a touchdown there, then they would have led the game 17-16. And really that small mistake, that seemingly small thing, instead of throwing the ball away, you get hit as you throw the ball, it goes up. That tiny mistake, all it was a decision to not throw the ball away, to try to do a little bit too much. That one decision might have cost the entire game for the New York Giants, where it's just kind of I think it makes you understand how small the margin for error is in the NFL, where one small decision to not throw the ball away can cost you massively in the NFL. Other than that one small mistake by Daniel Jones, I thought he did really well. He threw the ball well. He had a beautiful long touchdown pass behind Minkah Fitzpatrick where he recognized the safety working down, took advantage, throws it deep. I just saw everything I saw from Daniel Jones, other than that one play, I really liked. I think that there's a lot of promise there in New York. It's a team that's rebuilding. They lost to a better team on Monday. If you're a Giants fans, I love you guys so much, by the way. You're an emotional, passionate fan base, but you guys got to realize where you are. The Steelers are a lot better football team than you. And despite that, you guys actually held with them pretty well. If you score there, you lead 17-16 going in. I mean, that's a good spot to be. So I wouldn't be too overreactionary if you're a Giants fan. You lost to a really good team. Your quarterback looks better than I would have expected, actually, on Monday Night Football against a really, really good Steelers defense. So if you're a Giants fan, I would feel actually encouraged. You lost to a good team. Don't overreact to that loss. That's a pretty solid, okay loss. Now, the third game I want to talk about, do not overreact to the Denver Broncos losing to the Titans on Monday Night Football. The Broncos quarterback, Drew Lock, is in his second year in the NFL. He's in a new offense, learning Pat Shurmur's offense, the new offensive coordinator in Denver. It was a weird offseason. There was no preseason games, a lot of limited stuff in the offseason, a lot of Zoom meetings, which is never good for learning. It's like trying to do math online is impossible. Trying to learn an offense from a coach when you're doing Zoom meetings is incredibly tough. You're playing against a really good Titans team. And by the way, to be clear, it's not that Drew Lock doesn't know the offense, but timing, you need reps. You need to do that in person. You can't get timing down on a computer. I'm sorry, but that's just the reality of playing quarterback is no matter how many Zoom meetings you have, no matter how well you know the playbook, where every check is, every guy, when you're not doing it live in repetitions, when you're actually throwing to receivers, it's a little bit different. By the way, there were two receivers that were out for the Broncos on Monday. You had the best receiver, Cortland Sutton, out. You also did not have KJ Hamler playing. Rookie stud receiver, Jerry Jeudy, who I love, by the way, but did have a really crucial key drop on a third down that should have been caught where he just wide open dropped it, tried to turn upfield a little too early. The Broncos had a couple missed opportunities. I would not jump on the Broncos for this loss. If you're a Bronco fan, relax, take a deep breath. They played a good football team, and there's good football ahead of them for Denver. Their tight end, Noah Fant's going to have a great breakout year. He had a couple good plays on Monday. I really, really like the new offensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur, what he's doing with Drew Lock and this Broncos offense. They had a play I love where a couple times they did this, where they had two running backs in the backfield, Phillip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon. And there's this one play in particular that stands out to me where they sent Melvin Gordon on a swing route out wide, then had Phillip Lindsay run kind of an arrow route where you go out and then back inside. And the linebackers flowed way outside with Melvin Gordon, leaving Phillip Lindsay wide open over the middle. I went, and then, by the way, there had another guy crossing to kind of to open up the middle from the middle linebacker. Just a great play design. I don't know if I explained it very well, but my point is that everything Denver's doing is good. They're headed in a good direction. The Titans had a good goal line stand where on that drive, Drew Lock had a guy open in the end zone and he just missed him. So Broncos fans should not panic. Denver's going to be okay. Don't overreact to their loss on Monday Night Football. They're a good football team with guys returning. And I feel very, very confident and very, very comfortable with where the Denver Broncos are as an organization.